so, Alyssa, you were last time, so you get to go first this time.
All right. My question is, why was the student not really responding to the professor when he was obviously getting frustrated?
So this is your first day of class at Harvard Law School. And you're on your feet.
I would be speaking loudly if he was getting that way with me. That's just me, though.
Okay. All right. What's the next one? Comment or question?
Oh, I think the professor singled him out because he didn't like the way he looked because he had long hair.
Yeah. They all had long hair, I think.
They all had long hair in that day. So you think the professor singled him out?
I do.
You think that a Harvard law professor is petty?
I agree with that.
Some could be petty, but that's in Legally Blonde. That's not in this movie. Okay, they are trying to train well-educated attorneys, and there's a reason for that. And this movie really presents that case. By the way, if you can't see the movie, the original author who went to Harvard Law School is on tape at the public library telling the real story of what happened.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, this is true stuff. Okay, so what did you have?
I was just noting his organizational skills before the age of technology, that he obviously laid the whole classroom out. The students had their names on their desks. He knew where they were. He had that thing in front of him. And then he had crazy expectations for these students before they even got to class.
Crazy expectations.
Posted on one bulletin board. You didn't find it?
No.
It's not on the internet.
Yeah, there's no
It's on a
reason to
bulletin
tell you.
board.
Oh, Ricky, damn it.
Okay, so, that is a really interesting observation here. So when Mike's going to set up his wiki, I'm going to jump ahead because you have a lot of work to do. I've got my set, and then you have to work. When Mike is going to set up his wiki so he can post his notes there or Khan Academy clips or whatever it is, he might show this clip to say, it was one bulletin board and you didn't get it, and now you're a goner, and the teacher has a perception of your productivity. Not a good thing, right? So it might be useful in something like that. Who else has a question or comment?
There was a book that I read, this is a comment, before my ex-husband went into law school, and it's called 1L, and it's about going to Harvard your first year of law school, and they recommended that law students, 1L is the first year, 1L, and but they also recommended the spouses read it, and I read it, and it's exactly like that.
And it may be the same author, just in case you want to check that out.
Yeah, I wonder if it is.
It could be.
Yeah. But it's very much like that in upper echelon.
Very much like that. Okay, we'll come to that around when it comes to motivation. But anything else before we zero in here?
Well, I think the professor had high expectations.
So he's Robert Rosenthal to the max. Do you think Cornell, Princeton, Yale, Stanford law schools have high expectations? Medical schools?
Yeah.
Should they have high expectations?
Yes.
Okay. You think they should? Why? Why should they have high expectations?
Because we, as the public, have high expectations of their graduates.
So would you want an attorney that came to talk about your case unprepared?
No.
And I definitely wouldn't want a doctor that went to a school that had low expectations.
That's the verdict.
Someone just said that in my other class. It's so funny.
Okay. So the student is put into a state of?
Disequilibrium.
Thank you. That's where we are. He's in disequilibrium. He can drop out now, or I think if you watched while I fast forwarded, he started studying. There is another clip in here where he decides that today's the day I'm speaking up. And today's the day that I'm going to exit that place saying it was a cakewalk. I did it. I'm here, etc. There was a TV series called The Paper Chase that was wonderful back in the 70s. It's based on this movie. So the real confidence comes in the achievement and being prepared, of knowing that you can do this. So, but I want to show you this scene because it's going to lead into the real one, because it's almost an insult scene. So if we were looking for how people handle insults, to give people a repertoire, this might be one that you'd choose.
Is this still the paper chase?
Of course you have to look great. You know you can't wear a Harvard on a sign around your neck.